Try to tickle yourself right now. Go for the ribs, the armpit, the bottom of your foot, wherever you are most ticklish. Nothing, right? Now imagine someone else reaching for that exact same spot and you are already flinching. Same touch, same place, completely different reaction. So why is it physically impossible to tickle yourself? The answer is genuinely strange because it turns out this has almost nothing to do with the touch and everything to do with the fact that your brain is quietly predicting the future all day, every day. Let me explain. Let me start by taking apart what you probably think tickling is. You almost certainly assume a tickle is just a physical thing. There is a ticklish spot. Something touches it, you get tickled. Simple cause and effect. But if that were true, your own hand would work just as well as anyone else's, and it obviously does not. So the touch cannot be the whole story. The real ingredient in tickling is not contact at all. It is surprise. And the reason you cannot surprise yourself is that your brain always knows in advance exactly what your own hand is about to do. It sees the tickle coming before it arrives and quietly cancels it. So here is the plan. I am going to walk you through 3 things in order. First, how your brain predicts and cancels your own movements. Second, why surprise is the secret ingredient that makes tickling work at all. And third, the bigger and slightly unsettling truth this reveals about the reality you think you are experiencing. Let's start with the prediction. The first thing to understand is that your brain mutes the sensations you cause yourself. Every single time you move, your brain does something clever. Along with the command to move your hand, it fires off a private copy of that command to another part of your brain, essentially a heads up that says, we are about to do this. Here's what it should feel like. Your brain then predicts the exact sensation that is coming, and when it arrives, it dampens it, turns the volume down. This is called sensory attenuation, and it is why the touch of your own hand feels muted compared to someone else's. Your brain saw it coming and preemptively quieted it. You can feel this attenuation everywhere once you start looking for it. You do not notice the constant feeling of your own tongue sitting in your mouth until I just mentioned it, and now, annoyingly, you do. You cannot make yourself flinch with your own loud clap or genuinely startle yourself. Your brain filed all of it under predictable and quietly turned the volume down. Self-generated is basically your brain's word for boring, and it treats boring the way you treat a notification you have already read. And this is not some pointless quirk. It is essential. Think about how much sensation you generate just by existing. Your clothes moving against your skin, your tongue sitting in your mouth, your own heartbeat, every step you take. If your brain gave all of that the same weight as a surprise touch from outside, you would be completely overwhelmed, drowning in the noise of your own body. So your brain quietly filters it out, muting the predictable, familiar stuff you cause yourself, so it can save your attention for what actually matters. I tested this on myself in the dumbest possible way while researching it, sitting alone trying to tickle my own foot like a maniac and feeling absolutely nothing, then getting genuinely startled a moment later when my cat walked across that exact same foot. Same foot, seconds apart. One was predicted into silence, the other came from out there, and my brain treated them like 2 completely different events, because to it, they genuinely were. The things that come from out there unpredictably, which is exactly where tickling lives. The second thing is that tickling runs entirely on surprise, and you simply cannot surprise yourself. When someone else tickles you, your brain has no advanced copy of the command. It did not send the order, so it cannot predict the touch, so it does not cancel it. The sensation arrives at full, undampened volume, plus a little jolt of your brain going, wait, what is that? Something is on me. That combination, an unpredictable touch in a sensitive spot, is the tickle. Your own hand can never create it, because your brain is always one step ahead of your own movements. You can even see the surprise ingredient in the fact that some people can be tickled with no touch at all. The wiggling fingers coming toward you, the exaggerated I am going to get you, and you are already squirming and laughing before a single finger is landed. That is pure prediction. Your brain bracing for an incoming surprise, whose exact timing it cannot control. Anticipation alone can do most of the work, which tells you just how little the actual physical contact really matters. And scientists actually proved this in a wonderfully nerdy way. Researchers built a little machine that would let people tickle themselves through a robot arm, with a delay or a slightly changed path between their movement and the actual touch. And here's the fascinating part. As soon as they introduced that gap, that little bit of unpredictability, people suddenly could tickle themselves. The moment their brain could no longer perfectly predict the touch, the cancellation broke and the tickle came through. It was never about who was doing the touching. It was only ever about whether your brain could see it coming. There is a fair question hiding in here too, which is why we are ticklish at all. Why build a whole reaction around this? The leading ideas are kind of sweet. The most ticklish spots on your body, the ribs, the neck, the armpits, the belly, the soles of your feet are also some of the most vulnerable and least protected parts of you. So one theory is that ticklishness is a built-in reflex to guard those areas, yanking them away from surprise contact. The other big idea is social. Tickling is one of the earliest forms of play and bonding there is, something parents and children and friends do, a safe way to practice reacting to a sudden touch while laughing instead of panicking. It may literally be your body's way of turning a vulnerability into a game. And this is genuinely why I make this channel. So a quick thing, if you enjoy having the weird machinery of your own mind explained like this, take 1 second and subscribe, okay? Because this leads somewhere much bigger than tickling. The third thing, and the part that stays with you, is that you do not actually experience reality directly. You experience your brain's prediction of it. Here is the deeper truth hiding underneath all of this. Your brain is not a passive camera, just sitting there receiving whatever the world sends in. It is a prediction machine. At every moment, it is actively guessing what is about to happen next, generating a model of reality, and then using your senses mostly to check and correct that model. You're not really feeling the raw world. You are feeling your brain's best guess about the world, updated on the fly. Most of the time, this works so seamlessly that you never notice it. Here's a genuinely mind-bending example of the same thing. Right now, your eyes are darting around in quick little jumps several times every second. During each of those jumps, the image landing on your eyes is a fast, useless blur, but you never see the blur. Your brain predicts the movement and simply edits it out, stitching the world into one smooth, stable picture and hiding the gaps from you. So you never once notice that your own vision is full of tiny blackouts. You are being handed a heavily edited version of reality and quietly told it is the raw one. But every now and then, in a small crack like this one, you get to feel the prediction machine at work. That is exactly what a failed self-tickle is. It is one of the rare, tiny moments where you can directly feel your brain predicting your own action and editing the sensation before it ever reaches your awareness. You are quite literally feeling the difference between a sensation your brain expected and one it did not. And here's the warning, or really the wonder. If your brain is quietly predicting and adjusting something as small as the touch of your own finger, imagine how much of everything else you experience is being shaped, filtered, and predicted before you ever consciously feel it. The answer is a genuinely staggering amount. You are living at all times one small step inside your own brain's forecast. This is not some fringe idea either. It is increasingly how neuroscientists think the brain works in general, as a machine that runs on prediction, constantly guessing what is coming next, and only really paying full attention when reality disagrees with the guess. Surprise, in this view, is not just a feeling. It is information, the exact moment your model of the world was wrong and needs updating. A tickle is a tiny, harmless, and frankly, hilarious version of precisely that. Your brain being caught off guard and scrambling to catch back up. So let me pull this together, because it turns a silly little fact into something kind of profound. You learn that you cannot tickle yourself because your brain mutes the sensations you cause yourself, sending a private copy of every movement command so it can predict and dampen the result before it lands. You learn that tickling depends entirely on surprise, which is why the moment researchers added a little unpredictability, people could suddenly tickle themselves. And you learned the big one, that all of this is a tiny window into a much larger truth, that your brain is constantly predicting your reality and showing you the forecast, not the raw feed. And here's the part I really want you to keep. The next time you try to tickle yourself and feel absolutely nothing, do not just shrug it off. You are actually catching your own brain in the act, quietly running the prediction engine that shapes every second of your experience. The one that lets you walk without feeling every thread of your clothes, hear without being deafened by your own voice, and move through the world without drowning in the noise of your own body. That little nothing you feel is not nothing. It is the sound of your brain working perfectly, staying one step ahead of you exactly as it always has. It is a strange and slightly humbling thought, honestly, that you have never once touched the real world directly. Only ever your brain's live, running sketch of it. But that sketch is so good, so fast, and so seamless that a failed tickle is one of the only times it ever visibly slips and lets you peek behind it. So tell me down in the comments, because I am curious, where are you the most ticklish? And is there anyone in your life who can get you just by pretending they are about to no contact at all, purely the threat of it? Because that, by the way, is the prediction machine getting fooled in advance. Tell me below. And if you want another one of these strange truths about the mind you live inside, go watch the one on why you get déjà vu, because that is your prediction machine glitching in an even weirder way. I'll see you over there, and yes, you are still thinking about your tongue in your mouth right now.